What is redistricting? Rochester City Council is a 9-member legislative body with 5 at-large members and 4 district members. The 4 district seats are subject to redistricting or redrawing, which takes place under the one-person, one-vote ruling of the United States Supreme Court. So how is a district determined? Every 10 years, the U.S. Census Bureau counts the entire population of the United States, including the city of Rochester. The Supreme Court declared that equality of voting, known as one person, one vote, means that, quote, the weight and worth of the citizens' votes as nearly as is practicable must be the same. So the principle of one person, one vote applies to Rochester City Council's district seats based on this ruling known as the Sanders decision. It's important to note that although the decision uses the term citizens and mentions voting, district size is determined solely on population. It does not matter if those counted are citizens of the United States or registered voters. So how is a district determined? It really follows some pretty simple math. You take the total population of the jurisdiction and you divide that by the number of districts within it. The result is known as the ideal district population. Preferably, districts should not vary by more than a very small percentage. And historically, that's been the case when Rochester looks at redistricting its 4 city council districts. Rochester's districts have been quadrant-based and have changed minimally every 10 years during the redistricting process. Since the process in Rochester has historically been fairly straightforward, you can see from these maps, which show past districts from the 1990s and early 2000s, that they vary really very little from today's districts, which were drawn from 2011 census data. This table depicts changes in population within each of City Council's districts over the past 30 years. As you can see in the table, population shifts within the 4 city council districts have been minimal, and they've created a variance of around 1% or less during the most recent census. So in 2022, how can you get involved in the redistricting process? There are several ways. You can take a short survey, which is available online, either at home or on a computer in any of Rochester's public libraries. You can attend an upcoming public input session, which will be hosted by the League of Women Voters in partnership with Rochester City Council. You may be at one right now. The information presented will be provided to City Council, and City Council members will be present to hear directly from you. After holding public input sessions, gathering survey responses, and collecting other input from citizens, City Council will publish a report outlining all of the input they've received. After this report is published, a redistricting proposal will be submitted to the public and City Council. Once this legislation is proposed, City Council will seek even more comments from the community at a public hearing. And after receiving that citizen input, they will act on the proposed plan. Any new districts must be approved by City Council prior to 2023. On behalf of the Rochester City Council, as well as the League of Women Voters, thank you for your participation in the 2022 redistricting process and also for your interest in city government.
Wouldn't have been part of getting the email, when our getting this message out. wall. If I would have known about this in advance, I would have made copies myself, just put them up, because I think people would come out more so if they were aware of it. A lot of people miss it on TV or on social media, a lot of people are not on there, especially the elderly community. That's it. Thank you.
Pamela Watson, Breedlove. Thank you for breaking that down about the portraits and so on and so forth. I can tell you, you guys are working a lot, but I know you're not reaching a sector. I work in the schools, Rochester City School District currently. And if I would have known about it, it would have been an email blast that I could have sent out just to get the parents more engaged. But also, and I know you guys are working tirelessly, but I'm gonna tell you something, it's just from being in the community. They're gonna need to see you. There's gonna have to be a communal interaction, a trust factor built, because right now, it's not. They barely trust me as a minority teacher, barely. And it's there because I'm with their kids every day, and you still have to build it from the beginning of the day. So that's something to give account for. They're gonna see media, but I can tell you they're not watching the news. So that's something just food for thought. Just food for thought. I'm doing it now because I'm in it. But if you would have caught me 20 years ago, I would have been like this. I don't know what's going on. So we want to catch them while they're still ready and their kids are still available to us so that we can start a whole new generation of being engaged. Thank you.
Okay, there's no one online. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I wanna say that what you're saying about no one noticed and came out. I think reflects that districting per se is not a hot topic in the city. It is in the county right now. Even that has not historically been a lot of people paying attention. The league worked really hard to get people to be involved this year. So it's a hard, abstract thing to think about. People are used to how it was. They aren't thinking for 10 years, I wish the districts were different. And then there's a moment where they could change and then the moment's gone. So that's how I understand the low turnout. Plus, there's several other hot things happening today, and it makes sense to me that people are fighting those fires and letting this one slide by. But I also haven't heard or seen anyone talking very much about where the district lines are in the city, so it doesn't worry me incredibly compared to other things where there really are sources of distrust that I do understand. All right, so I think we'll cut it off there. Thank you guys for coming out. Much we'd love to talk to you about. Okay.
I'm just gonna add one thing, which is the survey is open for another week. And so if people want to take the survey, please do. It's online on the city's website. And for you folks who came and shared and wanted us to find new and different ways to do outreach, please share those QR codes. Please.
You're gonna open it up for another week, you said?
Yeah, so it's gonna go from a week to another week from today.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you so much for your input too. It really is helpful. Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah. I understand how to share. Yeah.
Yeah.